The halls of Veltrax Academy were as chaotic as ever, echoing with chatter in over 50 different alien dialects. Students from across the galaxy strode, slithered, hovered, and phased through the air on their way to their respective classes. Amid the interstellar melting pot, one species stood out: humans. They were few in number and newly accepted into the Galactic Education Network. Despite their small size and relatively primitive planet, humans had shown promise. But not everyone was impressed. Carthel was one such skeptic. He was a Zarnok, 12 feet tall, exoskeleton-plated, and bred for battle. His race had conquered star systems long before humans even discovered fire. To him, humans were nothing more than underdeveloped curiosities, and worse, they were soft. And today, one of them had made the mistake of brushing past him in the mess hall. He turned his head with a creak of metal plates, his 6 glowing red eyes narrowing. "You touched me, flesh bag," Carthel growled, his voice deep enough to shake nearby utensils. The girl looked up. Small, slender, maybe 17. She had bright brown eyes, curly black hair tied in a bun, and wore the standard Veltrax uniform. Her name tag read, Lena Torres. Birth. She blinked. It was an accident. Carthel bared his jagged, crystalline teeth. No one touches a Zarnok without paying the price. Students nearby began backing away, forming a wide circle around the scene. Dozens of eyes locked onto them, phones discreetly raised to record what everyone assumed would be another reminder of why humans should stick to their own kind. Lena looked calm. Too calm. Carthel stepped forward, towering over her. "You think I won't touch you because you're small? Fragile?" Wrong. In a flash, his massive hand lashed out, aiming to lift her by the collar and fling her across the room. But something happened. Time seemed to blur. There was a blur of motion, too fast for most to follow. A loud crack, then silence. Carthel stood frozen, his hand outstretched, but not touching her. Instead, his arm was bent, badly. Plates on his wrist had cracked open, sparking, leaking thick blue plasma. His legs wobbled beneath him. The proud warrior let out a distorted wheeze, then collapsed to his knees. 10 seconds. That's all it took. Lena hadn't moved from her spot. But now her stance had shifted slightly, one foot planted back, hands relaxed by her side, breathing even. A Grelian student gasped. She broke his arm. With one move. Someone else whispered, "She's human." "How?" Lena finally spoke. Her voice was low, unshaken. "You put your hand on me. That was your second mistake." Carthel struggled to rise, but his balance was gone. The pain receptors in his exoskeleton were firing uncontrollably. He looked up, eyes filled not with rage, but confusion. What are you?" Lena stared down at him. "You see a human girl. That's your first mistake." A teacher arrived, Professor Aelrix, a floating cephalopod covered in glowing runes. He took one glance at the scene inside. "Torres, again." "He grabbed me." Aelrix gave Carthel a side glance. "I believe you." The crowd buzzed. Whispers of Earth combat training, Deathworlders, and Project Chimera circled the group. Most had heard of Earth's controversial augmentation programs, but no one believed it was real. Until now. As medbots hovered in and lifted the unconscious Zarnok, Professor Aelrix floated beside Lena. "I told the board it was risky admitting Gen Zeta humans into Veltrax. Your enhancements are classified." "I didn't ask for enhancements," Lena replied. "They gave them to us when the war started." "The war." The galaxy's near-forgotten whisper. Lena picked up her tray again and calmly walked toward her table, leaving silence behind. One alien student leaned toward another. "What's Gen Zeta?" The answer came from a quiet voice nearby. "They're the last human generation born during the Galactic War. Some were bred. Some were modified. Most didn't survive training. But why send one to a school? Maybe to remind us. The video of the incident spread across Veltrax in under an hour, then across the galaxy by nightfall. News anchors speculated wildly. Alien parents demanded answers. Governments quietly reopened dossiers labeled Human Potential Threat Index. Some called her dangerous. Others, a hero. But Lena didn't care about any of that. She just wanted to graduate and go home. In the quiet of her dorm that night, she sat by the window, looking out at the purple moons of Veltrax. A hollow message blinked to life on her wristband. UNSC priority message, Agent Zeta Lena, mission status, ongoing. Maintain deep cover. Monitor hostile species for further aggression. Respond with force only when necessary. She sighed and pressed acknowledge. Then turned off the message. She wasn't here to make friends. She was here to make sure the galaxy never forgot why Earth was left alone. Ever since the day they fought back, and nearly won.